Alright, so here's another thing to kind of add some more life and movement to your drum loops using replacers. So what we're first gonna do is we're just gonna get a kick and snare and maybe a basic hi-hat to kind of make a boring little beat here. Just loop this. Of course, this only works with sounds from my new drum pack. It's literally impossible and illegal to do this with any kind of other sample, so you will have to buy my drum pack for this. Or the police will come after you. It's I don't make the rules, it's just unfortunate. I mean, it's very fortunate for me. So we have the snare here, we have this kick here. Let's get some hi-hats and make the most boring beat that's ever been made. Just bring this in here, make kind of quieter hi-hat, and then just, I don't know, you know, standard stuff. Snares a bit boring, real snares don't do that, they don't repeat every time, they kind of have a bit of life to them. So what we want to do is we want to get a replacer here and put it on a send. We don't want to actually replace the sound, and basically want to send a snare to it, so every time a snare hits, and you can do this with all sorts of drum replacer plugins, we get a different, we get a sample playing. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set the sampler to multi-sample mode, which basically means we can load a bunch of different samples in here and then trigger them randomly. So every snare hit gets a slightly different layer. So I'm just gonna get something metal from my metal pack. Once again, this only works with sounds from my sample packs. Otherwise, you will get into trouble, legal trouble, and you may be shot by the FBI, I think. I'm not sure. You'll have to ask. The Pope or something. Whatever. So, sorry, I'll shut up. Get a random here. Sync. Hold. And then we can just put this to select. Kind of get here the sample selector, set this to the selector here, and then just distribute select equally, and you can do something very different with the Ableton sampler. Because I think, yeah, they're quite similar in some ways, in other ways not so much. So now basically, ideally, this should trigger a random one of these samples every time a snare comes in. Doesn't seem to work. We need to re-trigger this with every note. So now every snare will sound a little bit different. And we can make this however subtle we like. Let's maybe clear all of these and bring some more substantial samples in. I know there's like some stuff in the Mr. Bill sample pack. I do have special permission to use other people's sample packs, but you do not. You can only use mine. It's otherwise, yeah. Let's just get some exploding lights here. Drag them all in here. Do the same sort of thing where we just get their ranges all nice and spread out. Nope, get all of them and kind of bring their ranges all the way up and distribute select equally. You know the drill. Map the... So let's maybe compress this a bit and kind of bring this into shape so it doesn't sound quite as horrible. Input up, limiter, EQ the lows out. Maybe delay them slightly so they don't hit quite with the snare, but a bit later. Also, we could add another random and put this on pitch. Just move the pitch up and down a slightly bit. Bit of a quick and dirty way of doing it, but yeah, this is kind of, we can also group this with our snare, of course, and then kind of process the two together. So this way we kind of get slightly different snares every time. We could also, I don't know, put different hi-hats in here or something like that. You get the idea. and just make our beats a bit more lively, a bit more interesting. Maybe select better samples than I did here. Kind of make it sound a bit cooler. I'm sure you'll figure it out. Cheers.